it's easy to consider putting technology in the hands of young people, and in your setting with young people studying hairdressing and hair and beauty and things like that, we worked with that sort of thing. It's persuading the young people to actually get involved in their own learning, where the sort of benefits that we theorize about from home learning and things could take place. So again, it's quite similar to the point in Taiwan. This is nothing to do with ability, this is to do with commitment to learn. So I guess we could argue chicken and egg. Does the technology enhance the commitment to learn? But commitment to learn was the issue. The final 2 points we raised were more general. Mike raised a point about teenage learners, and if we kill off their enthusiasm for learning informally by pulling everything into formal learning, will we actually, to use an English phrase, kill the goose that laid the golden egg? Will we actually kill off this terrific thing that's going on? And what we perhaps need to do is to actually recognise the importance of this informal, private learning space and give people the opportunity and the approval to carry on learning in that way. Is that the sort of thing we were saying? And finally, I realised, especially from the examples from Brazil and from what we were talking about in the north of England, that perhaps our biggest gap, and I found this in Sheffield where I work with diploma courses, is teacher skills. Not teacher skills with technology, but teacher skills to know how to teach, to mentor, to lecture, to do all those pedagogic functions that they perform in very different settings, where the setting might be a distributed lecture, the setting might be an online discussion, but the pedagogic skills and the support skills and the instructional skills that go with those technologies. That's nothing to do with can you press the buttons, and we were talking about how in Brazil, through distributed learning, they've learned quite a bit about that through satellite broadcasting.
In theory, we have a younger population of teachers entering the profession who, in theory, fit the sort of digital native generation and ought to be charged up. I think it's quite clear that it's not as straightforward as that. And certainly, some of the youngsters I've spoken to entering teacher training see the technology uses they have to use in school as a bit of a mystery. Even if they've got their own practices, they don't feel confident necessarily about transferring them to their teaching. So there's a complicated job to do there, and that teacher training needs thinking about. Though we also discussed the equivalent point that we also need to build on those pockets that are in many, many schools of very, very thoughtful teachers developing interesting ideas, but who aren't necessarily getting to share those widely enough with their colleagues who aren't so confident.